Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles. Along with me, as always, my co-host, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. How you doing today, Jacob?
I am swell, Charles. Excited. Another episode of the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast, episode 270. We're back, the show where we
270?
pitch new TV show ideas every week, new stories, characters, worlds, all that jazz. But because this is episode 270, we have to, instead of our usual shtick, which is you and I go off and write a pilot or a TV show idea ahead of time, and we come here and we pitch it to each other. Instead, we had to come up with something off the top of our heads, Charlie.
Off the dome, baby. Off the dome.
So, we have...
It's been great.
I don't usually think about these beforehand, but my brain is actually completely empty, so I don't even have an inkling at the moment. I know last week we had your show, Cliffhanger, which was sort of a James Bondy super spy adventure, which turned out to all be...
a parody, a superhero show.
Yeah.
A backdoor pilot for a superhero show.
Exactly, yes. And then it was all a lie in the end as well. And then we had the hardest road off traveled before that, which was a medieval fantasy kind of show, which we're going to get the season. Yeah, I say season 2. We're gonna get a part 2, because I only gave the pilot episode in that. So part 2 is next week for that. So I don't think we should do medieval, and I don't think we should do superheroes. So we gotta do something else. We could do some sci-fi.
How about this? I'm not opposed to sci-fi. I have an exercise for us. You say a setting, and I'll say a genre. Does that work for you?
A setting. Okay.
All right. You say a setting, and I'll say a genre, and then we can see if we can make something out of that. On 3. All right? 1, 2, 3.
3. Ocean.
Thriller. Ocean thriller.
Ocean. We're just gonna pitch oceans.
Right.
I don't know, 17 or whatever. I don't know what number they're on.
Oceans, all of the oceans.
So something.
We've got
water.
Oh, that would be
ocean related, and it's got to be a thriller. Thriller. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we could have a team of scientists, and they're trapped in an underwater research facility, and then maybe one of them goes crazy, and they start banding together, and the facility starts to collapse as they have to feverishly try and find a way to get back up to the surface.
What if we did The Thing, except it's in the middle of the ocean on an oil rig platform?
Oh, I like that, because then you get a whole bunch of oil rig boys, and those are some tough
I'm saying the scientist thing that you were talking about, but you know how oil rigs are whatever it's called. They're they're on their platforms on the water. So a platform scientific facility that's on the water. Maybe it used to be an old oil rig, and now it's a scientific thing. And they're investigating.
Been retrofitted to,
and something comes up.
Something comes up after them, and they're like, "Ooh, that's a monster!" And then it's it's not a monster. The secret reveal is it's not a monster. It's a scuba diver who got lost.
Yeah,
and they've all been freaking out.
It's a scuba diver who was off.
No,
he was trying to rob a Disney restaurant. I don't know if you read that story.
Oh, I didn't.
No, you didn't hear this. Okay, this is not related to the pitch. This is a real thing. A guy at Disney World took scuba diving equipment into the park and went into a lake, scuba dived across the lake, snuck into this. There's a Disney restaurant that's on the water, it's a boat looking thing. It's not actually a boat. It's a stationary platform thing. And he scuba dived inside, robbed it, and then left.
That's pretty sick.
Like
and
a
he
fucking
didn't get
James
away with
Bond.
it? They caught him?
Yeah, he got away. Well, he's
cool.
away with it right now. This happened a couple days ago, so it's they're still looking for him.
Oh, okay.
He apparently so he snuck onto the ship in a wetsuit, scuba gear. I tied up 2 people that were working there at night, and then robbed the place of $20,000 and left. The thing that I think is insane about this story, beyond just the scuba gear and all this stuff, is the fact that he did all this for $20K, which isn't really. I mean, it's a lot of money for me, but it's not enough that I would scuba across the lake.
Possibly go to jail for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I feel like
for
there's some
years.
bigger heist that he could have planned with this.
Yeah, also, I do find it crazy that they just keep 20 grand on a fucking restaurant, like inside the restaurant. That's weird.
Apparently, I think it was like how much money they made that day. Like it's
oh shit.
I think,
I forgot it's Disney. Everything is like $15 more expensive than it should be.
Yeah, that, and also it's like, you know, restaurants can have a lot of cash at the end of the day, especially if you're in a amusement park, especially when it's Disney as well in the summer.
Yeah.
Season, you know. So.
Disney adults, they're scary. They're the scariest creature that they could find in the deep. If our
that is what the monster is. It's a Disney adult that was lost.
It's somebody
in the
who
ocean.
has like a tattoo of all of the Disney princesses across their back. You know,
they're trying to find.
It's
Dory.
just like, oh god. Oh Jesus Christ! It's just a guy, and he climbs the chain up, and everybody's like staring down at him. And he looks up at them, and he's just got like an orange face paint and little like flippers where his ears are. And he's like, "I'm finding Dory." God, that would be terrifying. Disney adults are scary people, and I say that as somebody who is a big fan of a masked lunatic who beats people up while dressed as a bat. Like, I'm a fan of that guy, and I'm like still like, Jesus Christ, you guys need to take it down a notch with the love for Disney. I find it weird.
It is weird. It is.
If
I feel like you should. I think you should grow out of it at some point. Makes sense, but
I think
alas,
that it's like,
you know, people can do what they
like
want.
something. Yeah, if you like something, there's no reason that I think you should like stop liking that thing just because somebody thinks it's childish. But there is like levels to it. I would never get a Batman tattoo, right? I wouldn't like get on my chest the bat symbol, just like on my chest, and every time I'm about to get busy with a lady, I take my shirt off and I just get a bat
where you're
symbol.
like, where your chest hair is just this big bat in the center of your chest.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, 100%. No, I would never do that, right? I wouldn't get a Batman tattoo, but I'm allowed to have a Batman poster. I would do that
if I had like really thick chest hair, so that it would like grow over it, so nobody knows it's there. But
maybe if I had abs.
And then if I shaved my chest, then it would be like boom, Batman.
Yeah, no, I'm Batman. I'm naked Batman. I'm only Batman when I'm butt naked.
When I'm shaved.
Yeah, like a dolphin. No, what was I gonna say? Disney adults, they freak me out a lot. And I think that
we're not here.
Be,
this is not the
studied.
Disney Adults podcast. This is the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. So we gotta.
You're right.
We gotta stop procrastinating here. I think the first thing we have to focus on before we can go into the scientists and what their mission is and all that stuff is that we gotta come up with this monster. What's the gimmick of this monster?
Yeah. What comes up out of the deep? And it's like, you know, what should it be, do you think? Should it, I don't know, I think doing a shapeshifter would be a little bit too much of the thing, but in water, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking, I think if we did some, like a different kind, because I really like the gimmick of it's one of us, and we don't know which one of us it is.
Yeah.
I really like that gimmick. I don't know if you've got a different idea that might be better than that one, but I really like the gimmick of it's one of us, and maybe if instead of like the thing where it would just like had to kill them to take their spot, maybe it doesn't need to. It's just like like the chameleon in Spider-Man can just become any
maybe it could be like a sort of like sentient like fungus or something like that. And it's like it latches onto you and is able to take over your will, you know, and overpower your mental capacity. So it can pilot you around, but like it eats away at you.
Interesting.
Because I do think that would be a pretty cool like final sequence, like horror action sequence, is like our main protagonist like running away, and there's just this creature, and it's like kind of gotten fat off of all of the people it's been consuming, but their faces are still there. Ooh. And so you just see like this like slithering, like slimy, like mass that just has like a collection of 5 or 6 like human faces just stuck on its back. And I'm like, that's fucking. And then we could have the voice, like the faces, all be saying things in their voice, you know, like help us, save us, don't run, that sort of thing. But it's like it's a horrible monster, you know? That could be fun, because I think that's
I do like that, but while you were saying it also gave me another idea, so I just want to let you know this one as well. It could be like it's not any person. It's its own. It looks like it's like a different, like a whole new person, but it adds the memories to their head that they think this was somebody on the ship with them, or on the thing with them the whole time, and so they're all trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Like they have like these memories of this person that was never with them ever, and so the reveal at the end was like part of them trying to figure out like who's the one that like all the memories don't make sense, it doesn't add up, and they end up shooting the wrong people because they have some wrong memories with them, and they don't realize that that's actually a real person, and all that kind of stuff.
And maybe it could be like that episode of Rick and Morty in season 1, I think it was, or 2,
yes,
maybe?
where they're like,
where the memory parasites.
That episode of Rick and Morty, there's like a thing like gets in the house and it makes them think that they know like all these other characters are real and they have memories of them. So basically the same thing, but different.
But we would do it better because
but not silly.
I mean, Rick and Morty, terrible show. Horror,
that's
spooky,
everyone says.
Scary, fucks with you. I think that is a cool idea, because it would be also, you could do like, he's, the creature is sort of like, has been watching humanity, and maybe this is like its form of camouflage, right? So maybe we have like because speaking would be weird, but we could also do the clue from the thing where it only knows phrases and terms that it's heard recently, like, and we could have a character who only speaks in like phrases and terms that other characters have said previously in the script,
Wait, explain that to me.
Because that's well, like, you remember in the thing can't talk, right? And so it like is only able to mimic the things it's heard, and so that's like, in one sequence, one of the characters says something that is a really unique and interesting phrase that another character said earlier in the movie. And so that's how the main guy, Kurt Russell, figures out, oh, that's the thing, I gotta hit it with fire,
Yeah. Okay,
but I think it would be fun to have like a character who only speaks in phrases that have been said previously.
Well, okay, to expand upon that, what if it's only doing phrases it heard from, maybe they're listening to a radio show at the beginning of the at the beginning of the show, and it's like listening in, and it like learns to speak from the radio show, and everything it says is like a line from that. Maybe it's an opening monologue or something like that, or like a radio host or whatever.
Well,
and that's how they'll realize that the monster is who it is, because they'll realize that it's all connected to that.
Because I think that's awesome, because you could start the movie with the scientists, like, they're all checking in, they're clocking in, like, what's up, are we ready to descend? And then they drop those, like, submarines that scientists use to look around in the bottom of the ocean, right? Yeah. And the one of the pilots is like, it's my favorite radio show, I'm gonna turn it on, satellite radio, it's fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah, maybe he's, like, playing it out into the water, because he's like, it helps calm the fish or something.
Exactly, something, or like it keeps bigger things away from us so it doesn't knock us off course, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And so you can get like this cool shot of this, just like of the, submarine going through this blacky ink water, and it's just got this radio show, obviously done by us. We would be the radio show host, because,
that's cool. Yeah.
Duh.
It's the podcast. It's this episode of the podcast. That'd be really funny.
Oh, fucking awesome. And then they hear like a grung. And then it's just like, oh, what was that? Oh, it must have hit like some weird like wave. I've never had that happen before, but the ship seems to be fine. And it's like we're carrying like an extra few pounds. Huh, that's weird. They bring the submarine back out of the water at the end of the thing, and then we see this like kind of slimy black creature slither off into the thing. And then our next shot is everybody in the what do you call it? Dining hall, right? And there's like, we start very much telling the audience there are 6 people or whatever, 5 people on the ship, and then in the cantina there's 6 people eating, but we haven't seen anyone's face yet because they've all been like in masks, or they've been in the submarine, or just like wearing hoods or whatever, so we don't know who's who, but we know there's an extra person there, and then we could explain scientifically like, oh, this creature seems to release a pheromone that like alters the perception of its victims, right? And so it seems basically creates false memories for as long as the pheromone is in your system, like, or makes you not question the creature being there, even though part of you knows he's not supposed to be there, but the pheromones are like pushing that down, you know? Yeah. That because that's a cool sequence. And then do we have like, I'm assuming this is like some sort of like horrible creature from the bottom of the ocean. Like, it's not an alien or a robot or whatever.
I think it should be like, it shouldn't be an alien. It should just be like native to the surface. I don't know. See, a lot of things like movies like this do the trope where it's essentially like this thing got here because it did the same thing to another group in the past. And if we wanted to do that, we could do like it would be kind of cool to see maybe for part of the movie a like old, like scenes in the past where it's on like an old British galleon,
like on a,
and it like
or like a pirate ship or something.
Like this, this
cool.
group of like this like navy, this like naval core ship, and like slowly taking over, and like the last guy, whoever it is, like ends up burning the ship to kill the monster, but the thing just stays at the bottom of the ocean until these people are.
Well, and maybe that's the opening is like our crew going down and finding this burnt out husk of a ship and being like, huh, this is weird. And then they get out of the thing and they kind of search around and look through it. And our main character finds like a chest or something that's like airtight sealed. And they bring it back to the surface and they open it. And it's a journal of the last person who lived on the ship. And then that's how you can kind of weave the like past to present sort of things into the movie, you know?
Yeah.
I just don't know how you would have an airtight container on a British galleon in the 1800s. But
well, I was just saying the thing doesn't need to, like, it won't die. It doesn't need to, it can exist at the bottom of the ocean, just there, you know?
Yeah. It's like the perfect
and they had airtight containers. I mean, we could come up with something with that if we needed to have it. But
yeah, it's not that big a deal. Also, who cares?
Yeah, who
you know?
I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about this idea, would it be neat to show like all of this as like a one episode that happens, say, like we do this as a series, and the second to last episode is like the past, and you see the creature getting trapped. Okay. So like it'll end up being like part of the reveal of what the monster is, because obviously we've already explained what the monster is to our lovely viewers here, but if you're watching this, you wouldn't realize the abilities and how this monster works until the very end.
Yeah. Until the very end. And then you'd be like, oh my, I don't know why I immediately assumed this was a movie, even though this is the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast and we do TV shows.
This could also be a movie. Either works. We could do the second movie could be that the past, you know, burning the boat.
Oh yeah, like Prey. Like we could do the original movie and it's like in our present time and it's our like characters that we like, and then we do the sequel and it's actually a prequel and it tells the story of the ship, you know? Mm-hmm. That could be cool. You know, I like it. I think we should move on to characters.
So we're sticking with the scientist then, right? Yep.
I think the scientist thing is a really good way to start, especially because, like, scientists aren't exactly known for being, like, big, brawny fighters. They're kind of known for being, like, the opposite of that, and so I think it would be funny to watch, like, these kind of nerds have to fucking deal with this crazy monster. Because in the thing, it's like there are a few researchers and scientists, but there's also Kurt Russell, who's, like, a total badass, you know? Yeah. And he's there to make sure that everybody stays alive and the wolves don't eat you and polar bears and shit. But I do think it would be more effective if our main character, like, starts as kind of like a weakling pussy. And then throughout the movie, like, watching his friends die and, like, experiencing horror and tragedy and, like, having to, like, go through the flames and come out stronger, you know? And then he survives. And then, of course, and, like, he builds a raft and gets off. And then, of course, we reveal that the monster has, like, latched onto the bottom of the raft and he's going towards dry land. And it's like, oh, no. But
oh, no, the monster's alive.
Oh, no, it's gonna get us.
I'm thinking we do 5 scientists or 5 people on this rig and 1 monster, so 6 in total.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too, because that gives us 4 kills that we can do that are exciting and fun, you know? That gives us 4 opportunities for the monster to be scary as shit. How should the monster kill people? Because if it's like a human,
so I've got the main character.
Looks like a guy.
I've got a cool name, so I've got the main character. Our main character has to be, or will be, Maeve, because Maeve's a cool name. I don't have a last name. Maeve. What's a cool last name? We need something neat, you know?
McGuire.
That's a shit last name.
Maeve McGuire.
Fucking, you know, we got Ellen Ripley. Awesome name. Ripley's a badass last name.
It's such a cool name.
We need something like that.
Is a cool name.
We do Ridley.
What's like a good
Ridley
job? Yeah, like Ridley Scott. No, but what's
Ridley.
like a cool job? Because lots of people like have jobs that are names. You know, what's a cool like badass job that you would want to have be your name?
A cool badass job that I'd want to be my name.
Like from the past, you know, Jacoby Lawyer isn't speaking to you.
That's kind of a bad. That's bad. It's bad line. Knight it doesn't really work.
Lawson, Maeve Lawson.
Maeve Lawson. Okay, we can do Lawson.
Or Maeve Lawson, because her family is she was descendant of a long line of like sheriffs.
Yeah, we don't
stuff,
need to explain that.
So it's the son-in-law. No, we
Maeve
don't.
Lawson.
But we can as creators.
What's
explain things to ourselves.
She shouldn't be a strictly scientist, which I feel like mechanic is a little too. It's always a mechanic. I feel
like.
So
it's always a mechanic or an engineer. Maybe she's like a nautical expert. Like she is the person who's like, you need to batten down all the hatches because there's a storm coming that direction. You know, it hasn't formed yet, but I can tell. Because I'm like the best at
so she's not
ocean,
proper she's not a scientist that's researching like them. She's kind of just in charge of, she understands the sea. She could sail, she understands how
she can fish.
She's in charge of making sure everybody's okay on the water. Like she's the nautical expert. Yeah, that's a good idea.
She knows sea madness. She knows the signs of it.
Yeah,
maybe that's the title.
She grew up
sea
on
madness.
Rigs like this. Her family is people that did this all the time, these expedition people.
Yeah.
Like this.
Her parents got married on an oil rig, you know? Yeah. Her dad was an ex-con, and her mom was like the, chief, like, I don't know, chef on the ship, and they fell in love, and they got married on the rig, and then, she spent more time on it. She spent most of her life on the ocean, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Sorry.
Next, we need the proper scientists. People that are doing research. I think we need a historian character who's like probably a little bit older, probably like a professor type. Well, actually, we can call him
Professor Guthrie.
Professor Guthrie? Is that what you just said?
Guthrie, yeah.
Guthrie's a crap name. We could do that though. Guthrie Waters. No, that Waters is bad. They're in the ocean. Guthrie.
Waters Guthrie.
Guthrie.
His first name's Waters. McQuinn.
Guthrie Quinn.
Guthrie Nolan. Guthrie Quinn. Professor Quincy.
Quinn's a first name, I feel like.
Yeah.
So Quincy, I think, is
except
more
if your first name is Harley.
Yeah, but that's not a real name. Guthrie Quincy.
No,
that sounds terrible, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guthrie.
Professor Quinn. Medicine woman. Let me think.
This is great. This is great content for the podcast right now. Everybody's loving
this is such good content, everyone. We love names. Martin.
Guthrie Stark.
I'm just looking around
and we'll come up with something later if we need to.
Professor Stark. Yeah. Because he probably is a stark difference from our main character. Like, that's the thing, is that he's starkly different from her, and so they get in arguments all the time.
Yeah, exactly. He's very stubborn, very thinks he's the smartest person in the whole world. He's not like funding the expedition, but he's like the reason the expedition's happening. Like he got the funding. He applied for like the grant or whatever.
He secured the funding.
He's a
because there is like a cool scene where like Maeve is like talking to all the people. It's like, you need to do this, do that. There's a storm coming. It's gonna happen. It's gonna hit in 10 minutes. If we don't get this all done, your research is like gonna thing. And then the Professor Stark is like, I'm the one in charge. I'm making the orders. I tell you to leave it out. that sort of thing. And then, somebody gets struck by lightning or something explodes, and it's like, oh, maybe I should have listened to the nautical expert,
Yeah.
I'll decide when this expedition is over. And then he gets eaten by the monster.
Next I've
no
got...
No little girl is going to tell me
name
when I can and can't sail.
Dr. Liana Graves. She can be like the scientist that's actually doing the proper... Maybe is it just geology if you're doing it for the underwater, the ocean, for the rocks and stuff?
I think it's still geology.
We'll
yeah. Maybe it's a joint expedition, so that's why the history professor is there.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, he needed to be able to get all the money and the funding so that he could research this sunken galleon in the ocean. He had to sort of combine it with some other stuff. So Dr. Liana Graves, she's investigating odd formations at this depth, and maybe she's interested in geothermal vents and stuff for power.
Yeah, something cool.
So she'll be the geologist for that geothermal vent thing, and then we'll have a physicist as well, who's the other side, who will be
Dr. Eric Schultz.
Isn't that a person?
He's Eric Schultz? It is a person. Fuck, it is a human being in real life. God damn it.
Can't do that.
It's like an actor or something. I don't know.
It's White House. Eric Von.
Oh.
Eric Von Rank.
Rank?
Yeah.
Because he's rank, because he smells.
It's just
he's a smelly boy. Eric Von Rank.
Eric Von Rank. I picked these names because there's an author who's named Robert Graves, and so Graves is the first one, and then his family was the Von Rank family, but he changed it during World War I because his mom was the Von Rank family.
Germany.
And had once World War I starts, he hides that part of his name. Anyway, so Von Rank, Graves. We need one more character, and then we have the monster.
One more.
So this should be the technical person, the mechanic.
Yeah, the guy who makes sure that the ship keeps running.
Yeah. All the devices that they send underwater, and then the actual facility itself.
And maybe Maeve and him could be the two pragmatists, and the three researchers are a little bit more high-eyed and not really paying attention to what's happening in front of them because they have these great ideas, And so Mr. Henry Bagwell. There you go.
Bagwell.
I saw a bag in the corner of my room.
I like Bagwell.
And I was
Henry Bagwell. So that is the engineer of the crew. So it could be something where Maeve and Henry are the hires on to this expedition, and the professor and the two doctors are the people that are actually they're the whole reason this is happening. They've got the grant funding, and they just hired Maeve and Henry. They spoke
at a conference
to do this job. Maeve and Henry do this all the time. The two doctors and the professor are normally not doing this. So
yeah, we do have a fun sequence where
has to have a name though for the gimmick of it thinking it's part of the crew. So
how about this? The monster says its name, and it's a combination of the two radio hosts' names.
Oh, I like that. So
because it knows if it says my name is Eric King, that's one of the radio hosts. You're lying, you fucking liar. But Eric, I don't know.
Rick
What's
Edwards?
a good...
So it could be...
Rick Edwards. Yeah. There you go.
The radio host can be Rick
Edwards.
and Ed, and so he'll be Rick Edwards.
Yeah, Rick Edwards. I like that, because then, and his job is, I don't know, I'm a secondary mechanic, they sometimes,
what's something that would make sense that you feel would need to be part of this crew? There's got to be a gap. So maybe he could be the cook. He could be...
the doctor. We could have a doctor. He's there in case anyone gets hurt or pneumonia or whatever,
okay.
right? Because you're at the ocean.
The medic. Medic's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Rick Edwards.
And maybe we open the movie, like the radio hosts are talking about an EMT who saved a young woman's life. And so that's where he's getting the terms like medic, EMT, resuscitate, that sort of stuff. You know?
We could have a great scene, Charlie, where somebody gets injured and Rick like takes them away to get patched up, and Rick will have to explain it later, like, oh, they died, I couldn't do anything to save them, and obviously Rick killed them. So
yeah, he killed him. Does he kill him like a normal guy, or does he have like crazy monster powers? Like I'm imagining, I don't know why, I'm imagining him like putting his hand over the mouth of the thing. And do you know there's like there are these things that live at the bottom of the ocean, and they shoot these like long white like strings out, and they just like kind of feel out. Have you seen this? Do you know what I speak?
No, I don't.
Right, and it kind of it shoots this white string that then like kind of like separates and kind of looks like vines or not vines, like roots, and it just like that's how this creature like looks around because it doesn't have any eyes. So I could just imagine this like creature putting its hand over the victim's mouth, and then like all of these tendrils and all these like tiny little like veins sort of ooze out of its hand and just cover the victim's face until their entire face is just like a mask covered by all of these tendrils, and it just like kills them, snaps their neck or suffocates them or whatever, I gotta find this fucking.
Okay. Yeah. No. Well, what if like the tendrils come out, right, of the hand or whatever it is for the monster, and what we don't realize in the beginning of this movie or show, whatever this is going to be, is that they first just paralyze the person. So it like affects your nervous system, shuts down all your bodily processes, and then you'll slowly die, basically. It just shuts down everything.
Okay.
And it's if it has enough time, it'll kill you a lot quicker. Like it slowly will shut down everything you have, and then you'll die. But if you stop it, it just freezes your body up. It just shuts down your nervous system, so you'll seem like you're dead, but you're actually alive.
It's like locked in syndrome, and you just like some guy's got his eyes wide open. They're like, oh, poor bastard. I just sent you the thing I was talking about on WhatsApp, but I do think that's a cool idea that instead of just killing them upright, it savors it.
Yeah,
it puts
and we could
paralyzes them.
We could
what
have
is
great
the creature's
scenes where
goal?
we think somebody's dead, and they'll find them like, I don't know, maybe in the med bay or something, and it seems like whatever the monster got to this person, they're dead, and then we'll come back later and they're alive, and people are like thinking, oh, they're the monster, and they'll kill them, and then they're all confused.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good way of introducing that idea, and then we could have a final climactic thing where like maybe Maeve has been like knocked out, and she's like in this locked-in syndrome situation.
Yeah.
And Bagwell comes running in, and he's being chased by the creature, and he sees Maeve, and he wants to help her, and so he just goes through the like medical thing, and he grabs an adrenaline needle, and he just sticks it in her heart, right? And that like brings her out of it. She's like, oh my fucking god, what the fuck's going on? And then the creature gets Bagwell, right? He's like, oh my god, Maeve, you're alive. And it like drags him away, and he's like, I'm dying, I'm being murdered, getting murderized.
I do think it is important that I don't think we should know who the monster is until the very end. I think it should.
I think last
really
20-minute reveal. I think.
And I want the audience to feel like they're not sure if it's one of them or if the monster is something else that's out there, and they're not sure.
I like the show a lot. I like this movie a lot. This would be a fun movie to watch.
Now here's a gimmick that I'm not sure that I just thought of as I was saying that. Should the monster be two people?
Ooh,
that'd be a double twist, don't you think? But I'm not sure.
It turns out it was Bagwell as well as I
was going to say we add another character,
time.
So it's Rick Edwards, and it's also like someone else, maybe like whoever the guest is on the radio show we're listening to the beginning. So then we'll have like this moment where like they finally realize, oh, this person's the monster. I don't remember any of those memories, and then they'll also realize, wait a second, I don't really my memories of this person are also a little like weird too. Like for all the memories that they have of these people, like Rick Edwards. Maybe they should be like dream memories, kind of, where it's like the details. If you really think about it, none of it makes any sense. But after, like, if you're not really thinking about it too hard, it just sort of it all makes sense.
Yeah, Rick's always
all
been
logical.
here.
But if you really think about it, it's kind of like you realize, like, oh, people don't actually walk that way. Why were we, why were we I don't know, taking a taxi in like the middle of this small town in Alabama? Why would they have taxis in this town? Like little details like that.
We came in on that boat. There are only 5 seats on that boat. Like, I don't remember somebody sitting on anyone's lap, but there's 6 people. I mean, I think it's a little bit more focused if it's just one monster. I think 2 monsters would be.
No, I was saying it's one monster, Charlie, but it's 2 people.
Oh, okay.
One monster,
I'm picking
but
up what you're putting down now.
it has 2 identities that we'll never see them in the same room at the same time, but we know of these 2 characters.
Okay, I like that, because then you could have, like, oh my god, the monster's outside, and then Maeve runs into a room, everybody else has been killed or assimilated or whatever we're gonna have the monster do. And then she's in this room with this, like, I don't know, maybe he's like he's a captain, and he came to drop off supplies, and weather got bad, so he couldn't leave, something like that. And she's like, it's okay, Captain Smith, we're okay, we're safe. I locked that thing out. Nothing in the world could get through that door right now, and use the radio to call for help. And then she looks over, and Captain Smith has just, like, ripped the radio out of the wall with, like, inhuman strength,
I think, I think this Captain Smith's character shouldn't show up until, like, kind of late in the movie. Like, this character will seem at first like it's this person wasn't here the whole time, so they're not affected by the pheromones that you were talking about, so they don't have the memories of certain people. And maybe it'll say that, like, who the hell is Professor Guthrie? What, like, we're here for, like, a physics and geological survey. We're not here for a historian. Like, what are you talking about? That's not. And so this monster that this character that comes later, it feels like you'll have this reveal that's like, oh, it has to be this person because this person was never affected by the pheromones. But actually, it's just the monster, like, gaslighting them further into the confusion and madness.
Yeah, I like that. That's fun. That's a fun idea.
And then, because we can also have, like, up until that point in the movie, nobody thinks of Captain Smith. They have no memories of Captain Smith. That once Captain Smith's arrived, they're like, I forgot that you were out there, Captain Smith. I forgot you were.
Oh my god.
We were waiting for you to come back from your, expedition.
Yeah, we got distracted because I don't know, like, something happened, like some sort of dramatic.
I think that could be really interesting.
Like, technology-based thing happened.
Having that
right?
extra later entry where the audience will think, oh shit, we figured it out, and then the double take where you realize that actually Captain Smith is the monster. Is also the medic. Yeah. And do we have, like, a moment where it, like, switches between them so we understand, or is it just like you have to understand that? Like, because I do think that there would be it could be fun where Captain Smith is talking and then Rick Edwards' voice starts coming out, and then it switches to Rick Edwards' face. And then it switches back to Captain Smith, like, sort of this is fucking I like that
weird
voice
and
thing.
freaky.
That'd be a nice, like, little tell that maybe their voices are very similar, and
maybe they're played by brothers.
Point, it's like Maeve, Henry, and Captain Smith, like, hold up somewhere, like, making their way across the ship, like, wary of the monster. And at one point, Maeve will hear Rick Edwards' voice, and she'll be like, oh, I can hear Rick, like, let's go down the hallway, and it's just Captain Smith, and she's like, I swear I heard Rick down here, and he's like, nah, it was just me, I was calling for you. And she's like, that's weird. And so now then maybe they'll think it's Rick at that point, or they're concerned where Rick is, but we as the audience will realize that it was just
and I think they should be played by like, non-identical twins. Like, that would be just a fun little thing,
Oh, like they look similar.
They look similar, but they're not the same.
Or just any like sibling actors that look similar enough.
Yeah. Should maybe one of them be a boy and one be a girl? Luke Hemsworth and the other Hemsworth get to join in. Chris Hemsworth has to watch from the sidelines. He's on the water, floating with his Thor powers. Thor can't fly. It's just stupid. Thor should be able to fly, but he only flies by swinging a hammer, which is dumb. But whatever. Yeah, I really like this movie idea. What should the title be? You know?
That is a very good question. I've been trying to think about that as we've been talking.
Yeah. Deep fear.
Deep fear?
The fearful deep. Yeah.
It's gotta
like,
have...
because you don't want to say...
See, here's the issue, Charlie, is that I see this, as we're talking about this, this is like potentially an Alien or like a Predator sort of situation.
Yeah, where, you want to have
make money
single
off this
word
a
title.
lot. And if we just call it Deep, I was also in sort of looking for like Deep or something like that as part of my mindset. But I don't think we need like the title has to be The Monster so that we can make more of these and make tons of money and be super wealthy, Charlie. You got to think ahead of time. You got to think about the marketing.
I had an idea. So maybe they get the name for the monster from the journal that they find. And so I looked up Old English for monster, and it's Aglenka, A-G-L, it's a letter where it's an A and an E, but they're stuck together, C-A, right?
Yeah, that's the monster in
but we could also
in Beowulf.
In Beowulf. Or Pyrrhus, P-Y-R-S, which means giant or demon.
Okay, well, you said that. I looked up what you said, and I've got, is this what it is? Nicor, N-I-C-O-R, which is Old English for a water monster or a water demon.
There you go. Perfect. Nicor. I like it. I think that's that could be scary and fun and spooky. You know, you could see that on t-shirts. 30 years from now, they'll have like a fucking, like, they'll re-put the movie out, you know, like how they do with Alien, where it's like Alien Day happens. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I kind of like Deep Fear better
thank you,
at the end, but I think Nightcore is more franchisable.
But Deep Fear, yeah. I think Nightcore is a lot more easier to, like, sell, whereas Deep Fear, it's like, oh, okay, well, is this about the deep state? You know? Deep Fear is, I think, a solid title for this, but it also could be so many other things, right? Yeah, Nightcore. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host, Charles. Along with me, as always, has been my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat, and remember, we will be here next week with part 2 of The Hardest Road Oft Traveled.
Ooh, very exciting.
Thank you very much,
excited.
And
I've got a lot written down.
Haven't
finished it yet, but it's very good. Could be the best. No, it won't be. I was gonna make an outlandish claim.
It could be the best show ever made.
It could be the worst show ever made, or it could be a decent show that you listen to every week on the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.